3, 2, 1.
Well, good evening, members. It's lovely to see you all. It's been a long time since we've been together. And just to say from me, thank you very much for all the time that you've given to our online meetings. I thought they've gone very well and much appreciated. So today we meet in person for the first time in a long time, obviously abiding by the rules and staying safe as well. So I'd like to welcome you all here, and also anybody that's watching via the live stream on the website. So just to introduce myself, I'm Councillor Liz Bennett, and I'll be chairing this meeting. And I'm assisted by Tom Clark, who's the Head of Regulatory Services, and also Councillor Chris Ash-Edwards, who's my Vice Chairman. And the committee members that are present today are Councillor Pete Bradbury, Councillor Karen Healy, Councillor Samantha Smith, Councillor Rod Clark, Councillor Alison Bennett, and also our independent members. Hello to Dr. David Horn and also Miss Wendy Swindon-Eagle. Nice to see you both. We may be joined by Mr. Paul Cummings later on, and also sitting at the back is our cabinet member, Councillor Norman Webster. Welcome to you. Okay, so let's look at the agenda. The first item is to receive apologies for absence. I have received apologies from Councillor Eves, Councillor Denham St Pinnock and Councillor Von Thunderclap. So I don't have any other apologies at the moment. Agenda item 2 is to consider any items that the chairman agrees to take as urgent business, and I can let you know that I have none. Agenda item 3 is to receive declaration of interests from members in respect of to any item on the agenda, and I'd just like to ask if anybody does have a declaration. Yes. Councillor Bradbury.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I'd like to declare that as Chairman of West Sussex County Council, I'm also Chairman of the Standards Committee there.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? No? So we've noted that and we will move on. The next item is to confirm the minutes of the meeting that this committee held on the 7th of June 2021. So I'm going to ask if members could raise their hands if they are happy to agree those minutes.
Yep, agreed.
Thank you very much. That is carried, I believe.
Yes.
Okie doke. Agenda item 5 is our main report that we have to look at today, which is looking at the code of conduct, particularly one from the LGA and the second one that you have in your report. But I'm just going to go over to Tom now to ask for an introduction on this.
Thank you, Chairman. As members will recall, we first looked at this in January 2021 when we had the original version of the LGA code. Since then, it's been reviewed, corrected, updated, and also we've now got the guidance that goes with it, which you'll find at Appendix 1 and Appendix 3. Many of the authorities in West Sussex have gone along with the LGA Code of Conduct. The West Sussex County Council and I think Crawley Borough Council are revising the existing code. The reason everyone's doing that is because the Commission for Standards in Public Life suggested in their report in 2019 that we should review our codes of conduct and do so on an annual basis. The report recommends adopting the LGA Code of Conduct because they will do that review, and effectively we can be assisted by them in that exercise. Also, as you'll see from the guidance, they are providing assistance in how we look at various matters. Obviously, we're not the only council that gets a particular matter to our Standards Committee, and this should enable us to be consistent with other authorities and consistent across the country without the rigour that we had when we had the standards board, which got very complex. So the other piece of news is I received an email from Anne Eves to say that she was supportive of the LGA code, and also she understood that the changes in the law may be coming through quite shortly, which will give us some more powers to deal with matters where there is a breach of the code of conduct. So January 2019 is a long time ago, but we're moving on now, and I think it's time for us to look either at the LGA code or a version similar to the one the West Sussex have considered. But for the assistance the LGA give us, I would recommend we go with the LGA Model Code of Conduct.
Thank you very much, Tom. Over to you now, members. If anybody would like to make a comment on how they feel we should go, if you'd like to raise your hand and I can call you. No comments from anybody at all? Yes, Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would like to say I fully support moving to the LGA Code of Conduct, because I think that would give us a lot of benefit in terms of anything changing or particular cases where we can get guidance from the LGA. So I think that's the way forward.
Thank you very much, Vice Chairman. Any other comments? Yes, Councillor Bradbury.
Yeah, thanks very much, Chairman. I just preface my remarks by saying that I've only been Chairman of the County Council Standards Committee since this summer, and I believe when the County Council adopted a different code was before then. I mean, I'm quite happy to follow Mr. Clark's suggestion that we go with the LGA code. I wonder if he could just highlight for us, though, where the main differences between the two are.
Thank you very much, Tom.
They're pretty similar. There aren't a huge number of differences, but I think the benefit is that the LGA code will be the same in many councils across the country, whereas the West Sussex one is fairly unique to West Sussex County Council. Crawley may do the same as them, or they may do something different. So I think the benefit of the LGA code is that it is the same as other councils.
Thank you very
much. But the format is much the same. In fact, it's much the same as the code we've got at the moment.
So there's no kind of material differences?
No.
Okay. Well, I think it's a moot point which one we go with then, really. I can see the logic of we can just piggyback on the LGA, let them do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, thank you very much. Any other comments before I move to the recommendation? Dr. Horn?
If I may, Chair, say the code isn't really a matter for the elected members, but as an independent person, I think there is merit in going with the LGA, not only for the reasons that Councillor Ash-Edwards has mentioned, but also the extensive guidance that comes with it. You know, Appendix 3 in our papers is quite voluminous, and it is useful guidance as someone who has to resolve and provide advice on complaint issues. Having this guidance, I think, will be a very helpful pointer, and I don't see that coming through from the West Sussex version. So for me, while respecting it is an elected member decision, I'm supportive of the proposal set out in this paper.
Thank you, Dr. Horn. Any other comments before I go to the recommendation? We seem to be pretty much in agreement. Okay, so the recommendation is that the Standards Committee advise Council at Mid Sussex and the Town and Parish Councils in the Mid Sussex District area to adopt the LGA Model Code of Conducts at Appendix 1. Members, can I ask you to raise your hands if you agree to that? That is unanimous, so that is carried to Council. Thank you very much indeed. Agenda item 6, questions pursuant to Council Procedure Rule 10.2, due notice of which has been given, and I have none. So members, that concludes tonight's meeting. Can I thank you very much for attending? It's been lovely to see you. Thank you to everybody who's followed on the live stream. And after I have concluded this meeting, can I ask you to remain in your seats just until the live streaming has finished? Thank you very much. So I now close this meeting at just after, let's say it's 12 minutes past 6. Thank you very much. Good night.